Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians and incoming presidents, and welcome to this very interesting and exciting session. It's going to be a panel discussion entitled Leading a Club, the Challenges and Insights. My name is Mahad Ahmed, and I'm from the Rotary Club of Kampong Baru City Center. Now, together with me, I've got 5 current presidents who are joining me this afternoon. 2 of them here with me in the studio, and 3 of them will be joining me on Zoom. Right, so why do I say this is going to be interesting and exciting? Because it is something I wish I actually had the opportunity to go through, to kind of experience before I took office. Because what we plan to do is we want them to actually share some of the current challenges that they basically face, and that's why I want you all current incoming presidents to lock in while we zoom in on all these challenges and all the ideas they want to share with us. So we've got 5 unique, different clubs. I'm going to introduce the presidents shortly, but these clubs we've got Alosta, that has been around more than 50 years, and we've got a recent club that actually, chartered less than 5 months. That is the RC Pandamaran. And of course, in between, we've got clubs that have been around 7 years and 6 years and all that. So let me just introduce these 5 current presidents. Joining me here in the studio, I've got President Chew from Ara Damansara. And I also have President Tilaga from RC Pandamaran. And in Zoom, we've got President Padma Devi from Rotary Club of Ipoh South, aka Chris. And one who is from Rotary Club of Alosta, as well as Dr. Janet, President Dr. Janet from Alpha Ampang. Now, I'm going to start with you guys here in the studio. So some of the questions that we want to know is some of the challenges that you faced and how you overcame those challenges in terms of projects, fundraising, all of that, right? And planning, preparation. So, Chew, I'm going to start with you. It's just going to be a casual discussion. So, Chew, what I would like you to tell us is that, when you were preparing before you took office, that is a bit challenging. I know there are incoming presidents now that just recently joined a couple of months ago, and some of them have already done their preparation. They've got planned. Some are in the midst of it. So I know you told me this, but in the retelling of that story, I want you just to tell us some of the in preparing for your year, when you look back now, some of the things you said, you sometimes think, I wish I actually looked at that. And also, besides pre-pets, right, and training, what else was helpful for you? Or if you were to go back in now, what other help or resources would you have asked for or needed?
Thank you, Mahat. Thank you for this opportunity to share with. Hello, fellow Rotarians. My name is Chew, current president of Ara Damansara. I think before I roll into the question, I just want to share a little background of how the difficult birth of my club, Rotary Club of Ara Damansara. We are a club that is only 4 years and 4 months old. It was chartered in 2016. And we are split from another Rotary Club. And at the time, I think at the district, it was not encouraged, or rather shall I say frowned upon, to split a club. Unlike now, where it is encouraged. As long as Rotarians stay within Rotary Club and form a new club, that is okay. So only 4 years old, and for me to plan my years, right, we have small budget fundraise from beginning, and COVID-19 hit us. Luckily, I planned early. I summarize my 4 challenges that I face here. Number 1. As I begin my Rotary year, I already lost 5 members. I'm still -1 at this moment. And I set myself in the beginning to grow by 6 members, and I have a -1, a long way to go. All right. The second thing is that with COVID-19, we're unable to do any fundraising at all. So that means that we have to dig deep into the fund that we raised in the beginning, 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So luckily at that time, yes, we managed to do a charity golf fundraising in Ara Damansara. So that was where we had to dig deep into our pocket. The third challenge I would say is that the nature of the project they want to do was to give free cataract surgery for old folks. Can you imagine? I have to ask my Rotarians, please can you bring the old folks, go to old folks home and bring them to the hospitals, 2 hospitals in Shah Alam and PPUM to actually do that. In the process, not only they are exposing themselves and the old folks to potentially contracting COVID-19, right? The logistic is also very challenging actually to do that, yeah? And luckily, my Rotarians were able to rise to the challenge and they actually helped us with this, yeah. Yeah. So the fourth challenge I shall say is something very personal, yeah? I find that because I run a small consulting business, my time away from business to run Rotary, to take care of Rotary matters, members' issues and things like that, means I have less time for my business, time for my family as well. Yeah. So to me, this is something that you, incoming president, will face as well. Yeah. There will come the conflicts, but it's how you do the planning. Yeah. So this is when I was invited by Mahat to share in this panel, I think of a formula of 4 alphabet. It's simply called PAL. P-A-A-L. So P stands for planning. The first one is planning. I actually started my planning when I was president-elect, just like you now in the month of March. I started planning early, yeah, and I find very useful a year planner, which I did when I was a past secretary before. Yeah. So depending on the year planner, and I have a budget, and I'm, as a trained engineer, I'm a very systematic person. I like to have a system structure and things like that. So planning is good. Yeah. So we have the planning. With the planning, the next is A. A is for act. Act according to your plan. Yeah. And just go ahead and do. Yeah. And I encourage incoming presidents, start working with your president now. Start leading the club, leading the members. Yeah. Let them see their UI in action. Take a small projects and lead them now as incoming presidents. Yeah. So they're used to it. The next A is adjust. You have a plan. COVID-19 hit me and I have to adjust along the way. Yeah. I have to adjust how I'm going to carry out my project. I cannot just stick to my plan. Yeah. And by adjusting also the budget as well, things will move because I don't have the luxury of the earlier budget, so I have to adjust along the way. And the last one is L, stands for legacy. Yeah, if you can help just one person, go ahead and one person. Help one person for one day is fine. You can help 10 person to make change in their life, go ahead and do that. Yeah, absolutely. And in my case, my past president, he planted the seed for REF. Today we have 4 SPM students sitting for the exams. Yeah. Wow. And I started the gift of sight. Yeah. As I planned last year, I identified my Sifu as someone as a president from the Rotary Club of Damansara West, because I want to do gift of sight, and I learned from him how to carry that out. Yeah. So that's a legacy that I want to leave, and I think about that. So incoming presidents, remember there will be challenges along the way, but if you stick with PAAL, then you can leave a legacy and you enjoy your year. Yep.
I love that. You know, the A stands for what again?
The first A is act. Act upon your plan.
Act, as in, yeah, the first A. The second A.
The second A is adjust.
Adjust.
Adjust, yeah.
You know, I'm reminded of this very famous quote which goes, planning is everything, but the plan is nothing. Which means you got to continuously work on that plan, right? Because it's not set in stone. Right? Because a lot of us, we plan and then we just put it aside, and then a lot of changes happen, confront us, and then, you know, we just go along. So I love the second A as well, which is basically adapt.
Yes. The adapt is important because along the way, we will face a conflict of timing, conflict within the members as well. Conflict within our own time and opportunities. There will be new opportunities coming. District will organize some projects there, and that may be an opportunity when you meet someone who introduces you from another organization, NGO, work with them. Yes. That's fantastic, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's where you maybe have to detour again from your plan. But if you don't have a plan, that's
Absolutely.
difficult. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Chiu, well said. But the second part of the question was also, going through the training like pre-pets and other trainings, was that, helpful if you were to look back? What else would you have wished that, you needed the kind of support?
I think the pre-pets training is wonderful. Yeah. The things that I do not get from my professional work or my business, whatever it is, are things of running of a club, right? Running a club means that the ROS, Registrar of Society, yeah, income tax, the tax returns and all these things,
Yes.
right? I'm not an administrative person and things like that.
Yeah.
But when I attend the pre-pets training, yeah, not only at the local regulatory requirement to ensure that this club, yeah, so because when we started our club, we wanted that this club will have a legacy, will have a foundation, will have a tax exemption in future, things like that. So we felt that we want to leave a long legacy. So we start right with all these ROS and yeah. So that's something I learned. We learn from the pre-pets. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there
good.
was, and you get to do it. I mean, hands-on.
Hands-on,
Right.
yes, right.
So as you mentioned, with maybe a corporation, you're not involved in that part of the the business. But here you get it hands-on.
Yes.
Right. So Chiu, interesting points. I'll come back to you. I've got President Tilaga here from RC Pandamaran. Tilaga, I love your story because not long ago, you guys had some ups and downs, a bit of challenges, but now you're here with a new club that you have chartered together with your team of members. I want you to share with us, because you know what? It's not easy. It wasn't easy. And I'm sure, a lot of people thought, Tilaga, can you do that? You sure? All that. So, you're here now. And what could you share with, incoming president in terms of, taking up their role and, working with members and as far as that's concerned? What did you learn through that process, and even as you basically continue this journey into June?
Okay, thank you, Mahat, and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Here, I would like to start off. I'm the charter president of Rotary Club of Panamaran. Yes, we are just 5 months old, and obviously we went through a lot of struggle. Okay, here. What happened is, formerly I was from another club. Okay, what happened, we had some hiccups, such as in administrative. RI dues, Rotary International dues and district dues were not paid by the club. And due to that, we had also problem with ROS until ROS wanted to dissolve our club. So I had brought in lots of members to that club. So what happened there is, I do not want to just let go the members like that from that club. What I did is, we wanted to form another club. With the help of district, yes, we did form another club, that's Rotary Club of Panamaran. It was chartered on 28th of August. Again, there was another struggle. In that territory, they were not so happy that another new club is going to come up. But yes, we proved. Just in 5 months' time, we had 50 of our projects completed. And we are very happy. I have a very strong team. My board of members, my team, my Rotary Club of Panamaran, everybody is very supportive, Mahat.
Yeah.
And
that's
really
really
achieved.
nice. That's really beautiful, But let me just interrupt for a moment, if you
Yeah.
don't mind, because you've been here 2 years, and when someone goes through that, right? They just give up and leave, but you decide to stay in Rotary. What's that? Can you just tell us?
Obviously, the
Why?
love,
Just
the
share with
love,
us. The
love for Rotary, the passion
Yeah.
we had,
Just-
and the spirit.
Yep.
Yes, all members had the spirit. The teamwork, yeah, we did lots of projects, and one of our best project was End Polio. We did the biryani thing, and we had delivered all biryanis, 150 packs, within 2 hours, all location from Klang to Rawang to Batu Caves. Everybody had their meal by 1 p.m. So we had a very good teamwork at that point of time. We everyone split, everyone did their job. 2 in a car, we did it And we were very happy. And we did good donation to
Fantastic.
Antolio.
And you've got a lot of young people. I mean, I just want to understand, what's the ethos? I mean, what, you know, getting all these people together and, you know, all that, the drive, and if you
Yeah,
could just,
because yes,
you know,
young
the
members,
coming
of
together
course.
and all that. It's not-
Young members, that's of course. And the spirit is there. You see, every now and then they'll be calling me, President, are we going to do, what's our next project? What are we going to do? You know, they come up like that. Everyone works. It's not only the project director does his job for projects, all the team members work together. So it's basically a very good teamwork. And of course, we have our fellowships where we meet up every now and then. Even though due to pandemic, we were still meeting up in my house. We had our potlucks, gatherings, birthdays, everything was celebrated together. And we kept things together. Even recently for Women's International Day, I should thank my club. They gave me a beautiful photo collage with a little bit of write-up of what I did to them. So what was my impact to them? So I was very happy, very proud of that.
But it's not always rosy, right? I mean,
Yes.
so, but it's been 5 months now. What are the one or two things you think sometimes, my God,
yeah.
this is like, I mean...
Sponsorship, of course, due to this
okay.
pandemic.
Right.
Okay, we can't get enough sponsors. We do have, but very little bit, what I meant.
So,
you know?
but I heard you said you're doing a lot of projects, and so how do you, I mean, manage that?
Projects in the sense like we feed the homeless every
Right.
month.
Okay.
Okay, we get sponsors on food.
Okay.
If we don't get, then all the members will chip in, and we
Nice.
will start feeding the homeless.
Nice.
Yeah. But now, after knowing us from the Rotary Club of Panamaran, from the Facebook, in fact, so social media, we are very active. So people went through it and they started calling us and saying that you guys are doing such a good job. We want to donate.
Okay.
So that's where we get our sponsors.
Great, great. Thank you very much, Tila. I'll come back to you. Now,
All
let's
right.
just
Thank
leave
you.
Klang Valley and go up north to Alosta. Juan, can you hear me, Juan?
Yes, can. Yes, how are you?
Juan, good afternoon, Juan. You know, you belong to a pretty old club. You know, you guys have been around. What does it feel like, you know, running a club with that history and, you know, I mean, managing things? And if you could also share, how are things in your side, you know, region? And basically, so what are the challenges currently and how are you dealing with it day to day?
Okay. Since I joined Alostar Club since 2016, so what I see is that I'm joined a very senior and experienced club. While I believe like myself, like a small fish swimming in a big pond. But we are quite lucky. All the members are very cooperative and all of them are very, how to say, well versed what's meaning of Rotary in their minds. So I have a good leaders, good guidance, and then good fellowships with all of them. And that's how we see. Like today, all of us we organized a big project with SW Corp, Bomba Malaysia, and few volunteers. We're doing a fire preventive and environmental health program. Average is about 250 residents came, and the event all runs smooth due to the support of all the members. So we achieve our goals of having these programs. It's a very big event today after the MCO.
What are
Okay,
some of the
Matt?
projects what's your focus now? I mean, if you could just share with us some of the projects on the ground and the challenges there.
So far, we have few programs in the pipelines, and however, due to the MCO, like Chiu said just now, is hindering us for getting more funds and fundraising now. So that's one of the issues been blocking our ways to move get more smoother than before. However, we do have some remaining funds in our account, and this thing will be moved on since PK and the MCO is now shifting already to bersyarat already. So you can see the activities can be moved on in the due course. And in fact, we are suggesting to the districts and all to our members, okay, before we move on to the bigger project or in the future in the world, I'd like to share some of the issues that like we need to have a few changes in our mindsets. One of the changes that I wish to suggest is we should have a big paradigm shift where in
This
order
is
for us,
for overall, is it like you're saying we as in like all of us here, I mean, presidents, just to be, you know, like specific. I mean, the
yes, it's
mindset. Okay.
basically it's more general, sangat more
Yeah, yeah,
general
yeah.
statements.
Yeah.
Like paradigm shift now, because we are changing from analog to digital. Okay, they want all of us accepted, and then once we are changed to that manner, we must have a paradigm shift on our mind also. What are we going to do next now? When we have this kind of paradigm shift, like we have to change the frequency level, we among the colleagues, among the members, and then we must find a level of tolerance, how we want to manage it and make sure that everyone is come in as a team. So there are certain cases where some of the members are not clear what we are trying to do or something because we do not have a good bonding of changing up in a paradigm shift. This is the thing lah. I believe other club also facing a similar thing. So when they do a project, maybe one or two really excited, another one or two just sitting on the fence. Maybe just sharing ideas lah. Of course, this is not overnight issues lah, but for me, it's paradigm shift to have a mindset to move on. Is among the what I call strategy need to be implemented first in-house before we go out.
You know, absolutely, I agree with you. One, you know, because sometimes you know you're passionate about, as a president, you have a project, you're very excited about that particular project, but then you only have 2 or 3 people supporting you. Others, not so much. What do we do? I mean, like, how do you communicate? How do you inspire? How do you get the message across? Because I'm sure you're having successes in some areas, and in some areas, maybe not so much. So let me just move to Ipoh. I'm going to invite President Padma. Padma, I see you on Facebook. You know, the activities, the projects you guys are carrying out. It's fantastic. I love it. But, you know, could you just tell us what are some of the challenges in getting all these projects off the ground? And I know, I'm sure you're pretty new to Rotary, I'm sure as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
so can you hear me? Can you hear me, Manat?
Yes, come in, yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear. Okay.
Very good. Take it away.
Good afternoon to the entire team, committee team of the Prepads for chosen Rotary Club of Greece to perform at the seminar today. Okay, thank you, Manat. Okay, definitely, as per the previous president spoke, I do have challenges. It's something new. I'm only a 3-year-old baby to the club. And the whole entire thing is something new for me. Everything is new. I'm actually, I doesn't know what is past president, PP, PAG, AG, and everything new. So the first time I attend, and I was appointed as the secretary, I'm still blur. So actually, I'm not supposed to be the president. Someone else supposed to be the president. I'll jump in when the person back off. So I have no choice. So I did ask my past president, am I the right person? Can I do it? Because I'm still new. Am I the right person? Can I do it? They say, you can do it. Then I say, if I take over the responsible, I make sure I justify whatever I does. I doesn't want to be the puppet president and doesn't want to do anything, just 1 or 2 projects. As I have experience working with other NGOs, I do every year I do more than 300 projects in other NGOs. So when it comes to Rotary Club of Ipoh South, I believe most of the project is done like, you know, you need to do 5 or 6 projects a year is just enough. Actually, it's not enough. When we are serving the community, we need to show them we are there all the time. We are not like, when we do the project, we don't do for, you know, 1 month once, 2 months once. So we only exist just a couple of months in a year. So it's not a purpose to be there. And moreover, I believe it's a sharing. We need to change. We need to change our mindset. We need to change the culture. and also the protocol. When we want to do, I have a setback. When I want to do a project, I need to bring to the board meeting, and all members need to approve to get it on. So when it comes to the board meeting, you need to have, sometimes 1 week, 2 times, and it will drag and drag, and it might take 1 month or 2 months. It's very difficult. At the beginning, yes, I have a lot of setback. In fact, I wanted to give up. But I told to myself, yes, you took up the presidency, you need to go for it. You have to justify on your sitting. So this is where we are, and we need to engage. We need to engage with government departments. We need to engage with other NGOs. We need to engage with other local communities, to show us that we are there. And of course, as a very good platform in Facebook, in the multimedia, we need to update all the time, and we have to give a press conference, so that the press also another part working together with us, engaging with us to highlight our club. So this is what. Manat, thank you.
Thank you, Padma. I'll maybe come back to you. The point you raised is, I hear it sometimes. And obviously, you're new. Obviously, when you see all these, the structure-wise and all that in Rotary, you may kind of resent certain things. But now, so far, okay, adapted already? Used to it? Or still?
Yes, I'm used to it, and I also get my members to engage. At the beginning, they say, no, you can't do this. I cannot run along with you. You're too fast. Yes, I have, but you're running beside me.
As you were sharing with us, I was looking at Chu. I don't know, you were like kind of disagreeing with her. You're pretty new as well in Rotary, but you've got it like you were telling me, Mahat, the structure is important in Rotary. It helps us, the whole planning and all. So it works for you. So you like it.
Yeah.
I want to hear your viewpoint on that.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you, Padma.
Yes. Thank you, Mahat. Yes, I agree to disagree with Padma on that, because I, for one, I like the structure. Yeah. To me, even organize my meetings.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's just to make it clear. When we talk about structure, what do we mean? Meetings.
Meetings and planning as well.
Okay.
Planning for a project. Yeah. To me, in Rotary, what differentiates Rotary from other NGOs? There are many NGOs that has come up due to this pandemic and also the recent years. Yeah. So, what Rotary, an organization, has been existing for the last 115 years, right? We should be doing something impactful. And to do something impactful, not only you need money, you need clear planning, and you need to have resources, the manpower to do this, and which is why I feel that. Plus, the second point is that we are raising money from the public, and therefore, when we dispense the money, we should be accountable for it. Yeah, that's why we have a board, not just a 2-person or 3-person decide how the money is spent, but rather it should be a board of number of people, 7 or 8 people, to decide this money how to be spent.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? In a way, I agree with you, Chu.
Yeah.
Rotary is not perfect. Rotary is not bulletproof, but the system works. And Padma, in coming back to you, right? You mentioned about that part, but Padma, you get a lot of things done. I follow you guys, your club. You guys are very active.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have senior members in Rotary, in your club, that have been around.
Yes.
How do you get these people on board with you? The senior members. Because you're getting stuff done. If you're not getting stuff done, I would assume that, Padma, it's not working. Yeah, you're stuck. But since you're always on the move, what's the secret here?
What's the secret? Definitely a teamwork. I can say it's a teamwork. At the beginning, yes, as I said before, I have a setback. Later on, we work as a team. We work as a team. We share a lot of things. When I don't know something, especially when that's why I say I'm still new in overall. When you need to key into the system, when you need to do letters, you need to you need to do the ROS side. So I learn rather than putting everything to the one person. I say, okay, come, let me learn. This is a platform. It's a very good platform for me to learn. So I have a guidance from my AG, Kamarul, from PAG, Henry. He helps me a lot in terms of my paperwork, in how to go by. When I draft my reports, I do send to him to vet through whether it's okay or not. This is the way to send or not. They do help me from behind. So I'm taking this opportunity to thank all my members Even though I have 1 or 2 members is not coming in, but still we can run. We are the smallest club, I believe, 8 of us, but we still, the numbers are not important. Is the teamwork is rather important. So
Absolutely, absolutely, Padma.
yeah.
Chu, back to you now. Dr. Janet, I'll come back to you. Just bear with us give me a moment. Chu, question to you. In your club, how many Chus are there?
Not many.
You get the point? My
Yeah.
question.
Yes, I know, yes.
What do I mean is, how many people who are like you, who think like you, because the next question is, how do we introduce the PAL concept, P-A-A-L
Yes.
concept to members or to people who feel this whole, Rotary, the structure is a burden to them? How do we, get it across to them?
I guess this is what Rotary is all about. Yeah, it's an opportunity for leadership. Yeah, I will pull new members, especially new members, to take on leadership position. Yeah, and those who are more senior members who have not actually taken leadership position, I'll give them the responsibility so that they will feel part of it, and naturally they will come on board to take on some of this. Another thing is this: what I like about the PETS training is that there are a lot of emphasis on the strategic planning. The strategic planning is where we identify the pipeline of leaders incoming. Yeah, so that's where if we involve them early. I had the opportunity to be secretary for 3 terms. Yeah, that's because I was pushed to it, also cornered to it. But I think more of this we need to do, rather than just one person trying to do many roles, things like that. We should, the president should actually get more pipeline of leaders to come on board and to start early. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And guys, as you heard it there, he said all the topics in pre-PETS, as well as also we have, of course, a session dedicated to strategic planning, which is coming up for you. So keep that in mind. Now, let me just go to other side of Klang Valley. Now we have Dr. Janet, who's also joining us from Zoom. Good afternoon, Dr. Janet. How are you doing?
Hi,
Were you
Mahat.
able to hear our conversation so far?
Oh, yes, loud and clear.
What are your thoughts? Who do you disagree with? Who do you agree with? What are the current challenges? Over to you.
Right. Thanks, Mahat. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with you. I had a little smile on my face when Chu started, and of course, I thought that I was the only one coming from a breakaway club. And then I heard Chu, and then I heard Tila. So we have 3 breakaway clubs. But I'd like to point out that all 3 clubs, my club, Ara Damansara, and RC Pandamaran, we use lessons learned to build a club that we would be proud to lead. I'm a charter member of the Rotary Club of Alpha Ampang and a 2-term president. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my club so that what I say, you can put what I say in context. The Rotary Club of Alpha Ampang was chartered in 2017. So like the other 2 clubs, we are pretty young. But I like to call it a precocious club because although we were a new kid on the block, we were not rookies. 50% of our charter members were senior Rotarians, PAGs, past presidents, between 3 to 34 years of age, average 20 years. So we had a club built on experienced Rotarians to guide us. So we didn't have teething problems. And I think the lessons that I learned as a Rotary spouse, I wasn't a Rotarian then, as a Rotary spouse for 32 years, helped me very much in my role as president today. Chu brought up a few points about balancing work with family and Rotary. Throwback to 1980s, that was the problem I faced. At that time, my husband and myself, we were at the peak of our career, and we were juggling between work and our family. So one day when he came back and he said, I was asked to join Rotary. I was really very happy. Can we put Rotary into our life on top of career and family? But I soon realized that my anxiety was unfounded because as RI President Mark Maloney said, Rotary does not compete with family, it actually complements it. So as long as you make time for Rotary, and like Chu said, plan your time properly, you can actually do all three. So don't be afraid, even in the peak of your career, to take on another responsibility as a Rotarian. So at that time that the club that we joined, they actually made spouses very inclusive, welcome, and we enjoyed the fellowship of the club. So the spouses were very happy. A happy spouse makes a happy Rotarian. That's what they say. So, and I think this environment actually contributed to successful membership retention in the club. And I was able to see firsthand the importance of the family of Rotary. And this was actually my message at my installation in 2019. So as you feel welcome, you feel you want to be really part of the club. So I was actively involved in the club. I was actually the administrator of Facebook for 10 years, although I was just a spouse. I was co-editor of souvenir programs, member of the organizing committee of so many club installations, and of the 71st District Conference. I was even the attending physician at the district conference. So all these, I built up my experience as a spouse, and this actually helped me in my role as president of this new club. So we call it a new club, but actually we are an experienced club. But at the same time, without going into details, history also taught me what kind of president I don't want to be. So this was from my 32 years of experience as a Rotary spouse. If you press me, I may tell you.
I like that. Okay. I have a question coming up, but please continue. Maybe we'll take it to the end.
Don't press me. Now, at my installation in 2019, actually a very senior Rotarian, he congratulated me and he heartened me that being president is easy. Most of your work will be done by your board. And he said, enjoy your presidency. I just smiled. Okay, the board of directors, your board of directors is invaluable to you, and we must work as a team. My husband, with PhD Vincent Lim, a Rotarian of 37 years, he advised me that in his experience, the secretary is the most important role in the committee. Okay, I listened, so I made him my secretary. Now, being a president is challenging, and yes, it is stressful at times, but don't let me scare you. Did I enjoy being a president? Yes, I did. Now, my 2 terms as president were very contrasting. The first year was during normal times, so that was not a problem. But the second year was during the COVID pandemic, and these were really difficult and unusual times. You must remember that our members, half the members are senior Rotarians, and they are not particularly IT savvy. So when we had to go on Zoom, it was difficult for them to catch up, especially the My Rotary learning modules. But luckily for us, we had a young Rotarian, a new Rotarian, Daniel Wong, who came in and he patiently taught these Rotarians the tricks about Zooming. And we are now Zooming effortlessly, right? My senior Rotarians still like physical meetings. You feel a bit isolated with virtual meetings. So I thought a way of how we could stay connected. Instead of making every meeting formal and inviting guests and so on, I tried to make one meeting limited to just the Rotary Club of Alpha Ampang, where everybody could let their hair down, speak freely, and the speakers were ingrown. So during these meetings, we had speakers within our club. And this also gave them confidence and exposed them to public speaking. I want to say a little bit about the module learning. At that time, we had to complete the modules a lot of my Rotarians were not on my Rotary. So there was a target to finish the modules. So I practically for them, did the modules for them, printed the hard copy and sent it to them to read. And that way we were able to complete
Nice.
the training that
Nice.
we were asked to do.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll come back
so
to
that
that
was
because I've
extra
got a-
work for the president, right?
We have I'll come back to you on that. Maybe you can expand on it because I have one more question for you. But I want to go to Padma. Padma, there's a question for you, which is,
Yes. Yeah.
Padma, how do you get these associations and organizations to work with you? Because I see you guys working with a lot of organizations and it almost seems effortless for you, easy.
Yeah.
So that's why people want to know, how do we do that?
Okay, thank you, Madam Manat. Okay, especially with Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita, JKN, we have LPPKN working with well. We have also the the health departments and the press. Actually, I have to thank to myself first of all because I was engaging with other NGOs. It helps me a lot to bring over to our CRIS. So I have a very good rapport with other government departments. This is one of the opportunity for me to bring over to the CRIS. So we have registered under Jabatan JPW, women's department, and also VJKM. So it's easier for us when we want something. I don't spend much time going to all these departments. I really don't spend. Everybody was thinking that, oh, you have ample of time to do all these things. Actually, I really don't go out. I'm just sitting at one right place and does everything with my smartphone. So I have a very good rapport, as I said before, with the Pengaras. So this is one plus point for our CRIS to move forward and to bring CRIS to the high level in, I think, at our Perak state, if I'm not mistaken. Muhammad?
Nice. Thank you. You know,
Yeah.
similar to that, right? I want to also invite One, because One is also someone I see actively working with local, government agencies. So One, same question to you. Also, I've got another question. Being a Malay president, how do you attract? There's a question they want to know. How do you get more Malay or Muslims to join Rotary? Are you facing challenges? If I'm not mistaken, your club is the only club in Alostar, right? I mean, what are the challenges when you go out there? Because you work with local agencies as well. Could you just share that part with us in seeking new members from the Malay community and also on the project side as well?
And on the first question, okay, fortunately, Rotary Club Alostar have established a very close contact with the state governments, okay, and among the state government and in between among our members already have a close bonding ties with a few officials that now they are holding our few EXCOs. So now my job and a few others, our members, is just to continue the bondings to create what we call a string of friendships from there with them. Okay, and so far we have almost all agencies in state governments are fully aware what is Rotary Club Alostar and what we have done, and to the extent Rotary Club Alostar been accepted by Sultan of Kedah to become our patrons. So this is one of the what we call big goals for our clubs and also to our members. And then on the second question, to get Malays to join Rotary clubs, okay, quite tough for us, but we're doing our endless activities to show, to portray what we are. Like today, for example, we organized quite a big event at a local Taman, they call it Taman Saga. And the community, almost 80% are Malays, okay. From there, the local will see what we have done. Because some people see our names is only on the board, or maybe from the Facebook, or maybe from a third party they heard. But today they see from their own eyes what Rotary is all about. where all our members today wearing our uniforms today, our corporate uniform, and some of them are asking what we have done. Some of them are quite naive, do not know what is Rotary all about. And of course, the local say, they say Rotary is lottery starting with L. They thought it's gambling or something like that lah, earlier lah. But from there, we have a face-to-face engagement. I believe that people will start understanding what is Rotary all about, especially the club, at the club level. A lot of people like this, I guess in other states also we see a lot of new NGOs is coming up, surfacing like a mushroom, I guess happening in KL during the MCO times. And then some of them are doing what we call recruiting youngsters to join their so-called NGOs. Actually, they are not registered NGOs, but they're playing using a very powerful Facebook as their main platforms. From there, it attract youngsters, especially the Malay, to be there. Like they like to see action on the field. Like for us at Rotary, we are a structured organization. Certain project we do it very structuredly, but it's not to the extent to reach the what we call some individuals beyond our Rotary wall, where they don't see what we are. We only see certain projects, and then in the end of the day, they do not know what is the Rotary all about. Likewise, other NGOs that we see attract easily the youngsters, especially the Malays in Al-Star, like for example, permission, like Kindness Malaysia. I guess in KL also they have Kindness Malaysia. Easily you just have 30 to 40 volunteers or any project they have done. So this kind of thing where I study what so specialty, to the extent these youngsters is joining them. It's very simple. They like to see action, the youngsters. They like to see what they have done in a Facebook. They like to see their name appear in the news or something like that. So this is what the youngsters are looking for. I hope at the district level, we could have our a separate session where we could to do in-depth study why the youngsters are joining Rotary is a least option. Maybe we can study that lah. Because I see there are youngsters is no way joining Rotary. Another reason is maybe some of them seeing what inside the members inside Rotary, they see there are a taboo. Okay, we call it maybe generation gaps. The age factor in between the new guy, the middle, senior guy, and also the super senior guy. Imagine that you put yourself in their chair. Let's say you are 30 years old. We are inviting you to come for our meeting, for Rotary meeting, we call it fellowship meeting or something like that. In the first day, you will see the taboo will be there. I think I'm in the wrong house. They might think of that. Of course lah, because they don't see what we are in in a real life now. But looking at the generation gaps, this thing Rotary Club need to fix it, because we need to do something that attract the youngsters to join us. Maybe our Rotary is too structured. We are not loose.
Yes.
Like other NGOs now. But I see there are some obstacles. We need to have a team to do an in-depth and a research what really the youngsters want before the joining any NGOs. Maybe we can look at like I'm not sure about Lion or something, but I'm seeing few NGOs in Al-Star, the new NGOs are easily they snap their fingers, they have many volunteers. This kind of things where what attract them. So this kind of study we need to do. This is my view.
Thank you. One, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to just imagine what the president-elects are thinking right now. I can't see them, but I'm thinking, what is Ajit thinking from KL Raja, I mean, because we're talking about attracting youth over here. What is going through Adnan's mind as he sits here? What is going through Caroline's mind from Damansara Heights? What's going through Alex's mind from Monkiara? What's going through Hanif's mind from Kampung Baru? And the best person to ask here in the studio is President Tila, because you mentioned you guys implemented almost close to 50 projects in the last 5 months or so, and a lot of young members. How do you engage How do you attract? How do you engage new members? What do they want, young members, and how do you, ensure that they're engaged and they're basically kept on the move and interested to to remain in Rotary and to even invite most of their friends? Because that's one area I think we have a bit of problem.
Club, what we do is we open up the projects to everyone. So projects should not come from just one person. So everybody puts in ideas. So the young ones give us a different kind of idea.
Okay, so let me stop you for a moment.
All right.
So let's say you're doing a project, Orang Asli project or whichever
All
project.
right.
So you basically take all the projects or you take all the ideas and then you call everybody and you do you vote? Do you say what projects should we go ahead? Or when you already narrow down on one project, then you basically see who all interested and how you guys going to.
We don't vote on projects. Projects are already decided.
Okay.
Okay, we chip in on the ideas.
Oh, chip in, how to improve, how
Yes.
to implement, how to
So
get it off the
everybody
ground,
have
those
their
kind of
own
things.
different ideas.
Yes.
So we don't say, here you are right or you are right. Everybody is right. Everybody has their own opinion.
Right.
So
I
we
think
bring
that's
that-
helpful. You know why?
Yeah.
And later on, towards the end, I've got a very interesting question. I also want to open up and share a little bit about, some of the things I went through. But the thing is, I think it helps. It works because when you get everyone's input, they've got an interest. They've got a stake in that. They feel that my president listened to me, right? They care about my opinion. So then it's easy for them to be involved, rather than when the president says, no, it's okay, I'm just going to go ahead and invite, and just send an invitation. Basically, the president has decided on everything.
Yeah.
And then they say, guys, Saturday, show up, 9 o'clock, we're doing this project. So they don't know, they're not interested, right? They have no stake.
We shouldn't
So I
do
think that's
that,
a very
actually.
good way to really look at it. Now, thank you very much, President Tila. Now I'm going to go back to Dr. Janet. Dr. Janet, you mentioned something very interesting, right? You said husband and wife in the same club, all that. Some people might be thinking, can you achieve that? I mean, like having a combo of like husband and wife together in a club. What are the challenges and, does it really work? Is it, something that could, last long or, at least being in a club together? Yeah, so if you just could elaborate on that. What are the pros and cons, basically, of a husband and wife being together in the same club?
Well, for 32 years, I stayed apart.
Whatever year, I mean, but yeah.
So we
Or
just
maybe you can,
been in the same
share
club.
with us, yeah.
We've been in the club for 4 years, and I think his experience as a Rotarian all these years actually was a real asset to me. So, of course, sometimes he doesn't share my ideas or the pace I do things, but no war, that's okay. So
All right.
we bring the club forward, yes, together.
Interesting. Thank you very much. And overall, I think, Chu, back to you. Anything you want to add on or you want to comment on that, like in terms of how you guys, based on your experience?
Yeah, I just want to comment on what Tila was just saying just now. I think what my club lacks was that bonding place, and when she invites members to talk and to discuss and to make the projects better. Due to this pandemic, many of my members in my club has held back in terms of meeting up. Yeah, so I don't blame them. Yeah, this is your own safety, so we don't meet in fellowship, in physical, and there is a lot of limitation when we just meet online. Yeah, so things are a lot is actually decided by myself, by the president, and therefore we just execute, and whoever can come, just come. All right. I like what Tila, she has her own place, and her members are still coming forward, right? And they are young people, they are okay to move forward. So if I have that opportunity, and my members are ready to meet up, I think that physical fellowship bonds and enhance and improve the quality of the service projects. I think that is something which I would really look forward to. post-pandemic. Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, thank you very much, Chiu. I'm going to go back to Dr. Janet because you mentioned something very, very interesting. Dr. Janet, you said, when you shared the experience at one point, right, you said, you know, you looked at the one president, you said, I want to become a better president, right? When you made that decision was sometime around this year when you took office, right? You know,
I didn't say I want to be a better president.
No,
I
I
said,
mean, like-
it's a kind of president I don't want to be.
oh,
Totally
yeah, the
different.
kind of president you don't want to become, yeah.
Yes,
So,
yeah, that's different.
I mean, it's pretty much the same. One, you're avoiding something, and one is prevention, and the other one is more like something you're looking forward to becoming, you know, a better. You know, I've got a question. You know, right now I think we've got like 3 more months to go. You know, at this stage, if we were to rate the kind of presidents we are, you know, based on what you mentioned, I would never want to be that kind of president. How would we rate ourselves, like from 1 to, you know, between the scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to start with myself first because I was an accidental president at one point, and then suddenly, you know, I was thrown in, and you know, I had to like, you know, dive in and just. Yeah, so everything was moving quite quickly, and towards the end, I looked back, you know, and all the damages I caused, all the things. So I sat down, I said, yeah, how would I rate myself? So I would give myself maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5. My members might even give me 3 or less, I don't know. But, you know, but we want to be frank, right? We want to be frank because a lot of good things we mentioned, but we want to look in. This is a question where we can really look in and introspect and think that, you know, on one hand, how would we, you know, really rate ourselves so that we can actually improve in the next 3 months, and even others could learn those lessons. And because we almost have 8 minutes, I'm going to open up for Q&A. You guys out there can also, in Zoom, can ask your questions. PAG Raj will pick it up and share with us. And the next question is, as your Rotary year draws to a close, right? In retrospect, what could you have done differently looking back, given the projects you have done, given all the, you know, that you have done so far, achieved? As your Rotary year draws to a close, what would you have done differently or not done? Up to you. So I'm going to go back to Padma first. President Padma, over to you.
Okay. Okay. You want me to rate, or you want me to? Anything will do.
Whichever question out of the 2 you choose, you can.
Okay, I would like to rate myself.
Together or.
Okay, I would like to rate myself 10 over 10. That I have justified enough.
Wow.
That I can give my justification.
Okay. All right.
I've given my maximum input and output for the betterment of the club. I believe there is. I still yet to achieve a few more things. I still have 3 months. I believe I can achieve. My target was initially 50 projects. When I brought up to my entire team, there was a big surprise. 50 projects, 50. I say this is nothing for me. When I'm in other NGOs, I've done 100 rows, you know, and there was a bit like, okay, let's see what's going on. So I hope, actually we are 45. I think I left another 3 more months. I have around 30 more projects to go, and definitely I will achieve my target. Thanks to my entire team for helping me endless. I hope my next coming president will keep on the track that I have left behind. That is, I think AG is coming over to take over my place. I hope AG Kamarul will do 100, double up my projects. Thank you.
Nice, Padma. Thank you very much. Dr. Janet, same question to you. As your Rotary year comes to a close or draws to a close, in retrospect, what would you have done differently? Yeah, I mean, so that the rest of us could actually learn from that experience.
I don't think I would have done anything differently except to maybe try harder at membership recruitment. I prefer not to rate myself, but I would like to tick the boxes. Have I tried my best? Yes. Have I been able to motivate my club members? Yes. Have I applied the 4-way test that I placed so much wait on. Yes, and that was the reason for the breakaway. People who don't observe the four-way test. Have I been fair? Yes. So I would rather rate myself this way than giving myself a number score. So other than doing better in membership recruitment, I think I have done my best.
Thank you, Dr. Janet. Chiu, thank you. Over to you. Same question. As your Rotary year draws to a close, in retrospect, I mean, let's say if you were to, let me put it this way. If you were to turn the clock and now you are March last year and you're about to take office, and looking back, what would you have done differently? Or it could be anything. Mahat, this is what I've done. I loved it, enjoyed it. This is what I recommend. This, not so much. We are looking for that kind of, deep looking within kind of answer. You can take a minute or so.
I don't know how to answer that because I didn't expect COVID-19 to hit his heart.
Of course, yeah.
I think the thing that I've done well is I've adjusted along the way.
Yeah.
The second A, adjusted all along the way. And if I were to turn back the clock, I think I probably will have get my members, if they are more willing to come out, to give more, involve more in the decision making, into improving the projects and things like that. A lot of decisions, I would say I made myself and a few key members of the board. If I have the chance to push a few the members, to give more and to come out and their impacts, I think that would be better. That would be great. Yeah.
Tila, same question.
All right. Before coming,
were
I've
to
already
turn the
rate
clock.
myself with my members. I told them to rate me.
Ah, okay.
Okay? I told them to rate me. What kind of president? What's my rating towards them? So I got about 8.9.
All right.
Okay? Obviously, I want to be a 10, but I should be lacking somewhere. So I hope by end of my term, I should get a 10. All right? And what if I could have done if it's not pandemic? Actually, we had a big idea on Kampung Orang Asli. We wanted to actually do a library for them and also some water sanitization. But this can't really happen at this point of time. So these are our setbacks. So, but still working on it, slowly.
Great, thank you, Tila. And let's go to one same question to you. One, if you were to turn back the clock and it's, let's say, March 2020, you have 3 months to take office, you're fresh PE, what would you have, looking back, what would you have either, done different or, improved on or, just overall, what would you have done differently?
Very simple. Firstly, I can't say I can't rate myself. Maybe my perspective is different. I came from different backgrounds of commercial companies. So what I feel that I still did not achieve my target. I didn't achieve my goal. Because it's difficult for me to rate for myself, honestly.
Okay.
Like we've been taught we cannot put ourselves in a basket. What I can say, what I can share with you guys in Rotary we should be a we. The word we must be there. Okay, and I cannot be there. I maybe may have a different judgment because we cannot be like Tonto and Lone Ranger or something like that. We must work as a team. Even though we have entire team, not the entire team can support us. Maybe they had their own personal reason, maybe they had some excuses or something, but there is still a team within a team to make sure our project move. Like for example, this is a problem
thank
to
you.
share.
Thank you very much. We have the last 2 minutes. The reason I asked this question, guys, is that, in these 2 days, we have a lot of great training topics prepared for the incoming presidents. and various topics. So this session was supposed to kind of really, while we equip, empower, and prepare the president-elects, this session is supposed to provide them, those insights into, hey, this is what you guys should prepare for. Okay, so we're not trying to scare you, we are trying to prepare you. So in looking at that, we just wanted to kind of share as presidents some of the things that we could have done better, improved on, because it's not always going to be rosy, it's not always going to be perfect, and obviously people might agree with us, disagree with us, all that. So those kind of challenges. So when they take office as well, they do the same, so that they'll be like, you know what, maybe this is what I can do, improve. Maybe I can be the change I want to see in the club, in the district, and so on. So looking within. So, but hey, you tried to answer that part, and thank you very much. And so that's it. I hope this was as fun, as exciting for you as it was for me, and I'm sure for you as well. Yeah, you liked it, Tila?
Yes, of course.
Fatma, Dr. Janet, Juan. Thank you so much. It's been really a great pleasure to be with you all. To to be a panelist and share this, have this conversation with you. And thank you all for joining us. And over to you, MC.